The mountain man had not spoken to another human in 3 days when he saw the girl sitting on the curb outside the old bus station. Rain-darkened clouds pressed low over the city, turning the afternoon into a gray, colorless stretch of time where faces blurred and people hurried past without looking. He noticed her because she did not beg. She did not hold a sign. She did not cry or sleep or sway with addiction like the others he had passed on his way down from the hills. She simply sat there, knees pulled to her chest, eyes fixed on something invisible in the distance. Something about her stillness unsettled him more than desperation ever could. The mountain man was a large figure, beard wild and silver-threaded, clothes heavy and rough as if they had known forests better than streets. He had lived most of his life far from people, high above towns where silence was honest and survival was simple. Hunt, build, endure. But he had come down for supplies, and now, for reasons he did not yet understand, he could not make himself walk past her. He stopped a few feet away. She did not look up. Her face was pale, dirt-smudged, but unbroken. Not the look of someone defeated, the look of someone waiting. The mountain man cleared his throat, unused to speaking aloud. "You hungry?" She turned her head slowly, eyes sharp and startlingly calm. "Everyone is," she replied. Her voice was quiet, but it landed with weight. He frowned, confused. "I mean, food. I can get you something." She shook her head once. "Food fills the stomach. Not the problem." Something tightened in his chest. He had not expected philosophy from a girl who looked barely 17. Money meant for supplies, tools, ammunition. "I don't know how this works down here," he said, "but I can help. I can buy you a meal, a bed, clothes." She finally stood, slow and careful, her movements dignified despite her frailty. Now she was almost eye level with him. "Why?" she asked. The question was not grateful. It was not hopeful. It was demanding. The mountain man searched for an answer and realized he didn't have one that sounded clean. He gestured vaguely. "You're young. You shouldn't be out here." Her lips curved, not a smile, but something sharper. "And you shouldn't think youth makes someone yours to fix." The words struck harder than he expected. He shifted his weight, uncomfortable. "I didn't mean," she interrupted him, her voice steady. "You didn't mean harm." The city swallowed moments like this whole. He looked at her again, really looked, and saw not weakness, but restraint, like someone holding themselves together with sheer will. "What's your name?" he asked. She hesitated, then said, "Lena." He nodded. "I'm called Rowan." She tilted her head. "Called?" He shrugged. "Names don't matter much where I live." She studied his face. "The scars, the weathered skin. Then why does mine matter to you?" He exhaled slowly. "Because you're here. And I am too." He held up the money again, clumsily. "Can I buy you?" The words left his mouth before he could stop them. The air between them went still. Her eyes darkened, not with anger, but with something deeper, disappointment, perhaps, or recognition. People slowed as they passed, sensing tension. Lena did not raise her voice. She did not step back. She simply asked, "Buy me to do what?" Rowan felt his stomach drop. "I didn't mean it like that," he said quickly. "I meant help. Take you somewhere safe." She nodded slowly. "That's the problem," she said. "You think safety is something you own." Her reply cut through him like cold water. He opened his mouth, then closed it again. "Every man who ever hurt me started with help," she said. "With money, with food, with 'I can take care of you.'" Rowan's chest burned. He had never been accused of cruelty before, but he had also never been tested like this. "I live alone in the mountains," he said quietly. "That's what scares me," she replied. "Men who want nothing think they're saints." Silence stretched. Finally, Rowan lowered the money. "Then tell me what you need," he said. "Not what I want to give." Lena considered him for a long moment. Then she said, "I need people to stop thinking poverty makes me property." The words landed like a verdict. Rowan felt something inside him crack, a belief he hadn't known he carried. He had thought kindness was simple: give, fix, leave. But now he saw how often giving was just another form of control. "I can't change the world," he said, "but I can listen." Lena nodded once. "That's more than most." Rain began to fall, light at first. Rowan pulled off his heavy coat and held it out. She looked at it, then at him. No strings? She asked. He shook his head. Not grateful, accepting. They stood there as the rain grew heavier. Rowan felt smaller than he ever had in the mountains. Why are you out here alone? Lena asked suddenly. He hesitated. Because it's quiet, he said. She smiled faintly. So is a grave. The words unsettled him. She looked up at him. Silence can hide things, she added. Including yourself. Something about that pierced him deeper than accusation. He realized then that he had come down from the mountain not for supplies, but because isolation had stopped being peace and started being avoidance. I'll be back here tomorrow, he said impulsively. If you want food, or just conversation, Lena studied him. And if I'm not, he nodded. Then I'll know you chose. She handed the coat back. Keep it, she said. I don't want to owe you. Warmth. Rowan felt a strange respect bloom in his chest. He nodded, accepting the boundary. Rowan, he turned. If you want to help someone, she said, don't ask what you can give. Ask what you're taking. That night, back in his cabin, Rowan could not sleep. Her words echoed louder than the wind outside. He realized his whole life had been built on taking land, silence, distance, all under the name of freedom. And for the first time, he wondered what it would mean to give without owning. If this story is already making you think, already stirring something uncomfortable and real inside you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Stories like this don't just entertain, they challenge, they heal, and they remind us what humanity really looks like. And this is only the beginning. Rowan returned to the city the next morning earlier than he ever had. His boots still damp from yesterday's rain. His thoughts heavier than his pack had ever been. The mountains had felt wrong when he woke. To quiet. He had not planned to come down again so soon. He told himself he was only curious, that he wanted to know whether Lena would be there, whether her words had been real or just another passing encounter. But deep down, he knew the truth. Something in him had been unsettled, and he could not rest until he faced it. The bus station looked the same, cracked pavement, flickering lights, the smell of old oil and wet concrete. But Lena was not sitting where she had been before. Rowan stood still, scanning the area, his chest tightening with disappointment he hadn't expected. He told himself that was good, that it meant she had moved on, chosen something better. And yet, as he turned to leave, he heard her voice behind him. You came back. He turned quickly. You said you might not be here, he replied. She shrugged. And you said you'd come. Anyway, there was something different about her today. Not stronger, not weaker, just more present, as if she had decided something during the night. They walked together without deciding to, down the street where the city thinned into older buildings and fewer people. Rowan kept his hands visible, his distance respectful. He remembered her warning about help that came with ownership. Why did you really come down from the mountain? She asked suddenly. He didn't answer right away. Because it was easier to live where no one could ask me who I was, he said finally. She nodded. That's what I thought. They stopped near a small diner, the kind that survived on coffee refills and tired souls. Rowan gestured toward it. May I invite you to eat? Lena studied him, then nodded. Invite is better than buy. Inside, warmth wrapped around them. Rowan ordered quietly, letting her choose. You don't rush, Rowan observed. She met his eyes. I learned hunger doesn't like panic. The words stayed with him. After a while, she asked, what do you think you owe the world? Rowan frowned. I never thought I owed it anything. She smiled sadly. That's a luxury. He thought of the land he had taken shelter on, the animals he hunted, the roads he used to come down. Maybe I owe it honesty, he said. That would be rare, she replied. After they left the diner, Rowan handed her a small folded paper. It's the address to my cabin, he said. Not an invitation, just information. She looked at it, then back at him. Why? He swallowed. Because trust means choice. Lena tucked the paper into her pocket. Good answer, she said. They walked until they reached a park where tents and makeshift shelters dotted the grass. Rowan slowed. Is this where you stay? She shook her head. Not anymore. He looked at her sharply. Did someone? She raised a hand. No, I chose to leave. She took a breath. I was offered a place. With rules. With conditions. She looked him straight in the eyes. With ownership, Rowan felt a familiar anger rise, not at her, but at the system that kept asking people to trade dignity for survival. "So what will you do?" he asked. Lena smiled, small but real. "I'm going to school." The words stunned him. "School?" She nodded. "A woman I met weeks ago. She runs a community program. No saviors, no strings." Rowan felt something inside him loosen. "That's good," he said, meaning it deeply. They sat on a bench. Silence stretched, but this time it was comfortable. "You asked yesterday if you could buy me," Lena said softly. Rowan winced. "I regret." She shook her head. "I'm glad you asked." He looked at her, confused. "Because it showed me something," she continued. "You didn't know you were asking the wrong question." He waited. "The right question," she said, "is whether you can stand beside someone without standing over them." The words settled into him, reshaping something fundamental. He realized then that his life on the mountain had not been freedom. It had been avoidance dressed as peace. "I don't know how to live in the world," he admitted. Lena looked at him gently. "Then learn." Like everyone else, a bus pulled up nearby. Lena stood. "This is where I get off," she said. Rowan stood too. "Will I see you again?" She smiled. "If we choose it." Then she added, "Don't follow me to feel needed. Follow yourself to feel human." She stepped onto the bus and was gone. Rowan stood there long after, feeling lighter and heavier all at once. He returned to the mountains that evening, but the silence no longer felt the same. Over the following weeks, he changed. He started volunteering in town, quietly, anonymously. He listened more than he spoke. He stopped offering solutions and started offering presence. And one day, months later, he received a letter. No return address. Just a single line inside. "I'm studying social work. Thank you for not trying to save me." Rowan folded the letter carefully. For the first time in his life, he understood that dignity was not something you give. It is something you protect. And that realization reshaped everything. If this story moved you, challenged you, or made you see humanity a little differently, subscribe to the channel. Stories like this exist to remind us that real power is not in what we own, but in how we respect others. More powerful stories are coming, and you won't want to miss them.
Subscribe to my channel.